common HR questions. I feel like you already know about these questions. And before starting, if you guys want, would anyone like to volunteer to answer the first question? Tell me about yourself. This is the very easiest question out there. Would anyone like to volunteer? If the recruiter is asking you this question, you guys can follow a certain format. Your answer shouldn't be too short, your answer shouldn't be too long. The format that you must follow is, first line would be about your current status, your education. It's okay if you skip your 10th, but from 12th onwards and your current status, where you did your BTech or what you're currently pursuing, that should be there in your first sentence. The second and third line should be about your internships or your projects. Anything that you did. It's okay if you haven't done any internships, but any academic projects that you must have did in your graduation. It's very important that you mention that, and also along with the project you must mention what are the skills that you gained during the projects. So second and third line will encompass these things, and for the last line you can tell about your strengths. I am very adaptable, or I do analytical thinking, and also if you have any hobbies, listening to music, anything you want. So in 4 lines you should be able to cover this question, tell me about yourself. So did you guys understand the format? 4 lines? Cool. Now the second most important question is, why should we hire you? Now this is the most probable question the recruiter is going to ask you. Why should we hire you? In this type of question, you're not just convincing the recruiter, but you're also convincing yourself, ki, why am I capable of joining this company or not? So for this question, you should, in your answer, you should tell about your skills, your unique, if there's anything unique in your profile, you did some certifications, you did some courses, and also for this, you should research about the company. Before appearing for any kind of interview, if there's a particular company, you should visit their website, you should go through any latest news that they have appeared in, any kind of projects that the company is doing. And you should focus on that, and you should try to incorporate those kind of things that you have read into this answer, and how your skills will help the company, how your skills will align with their goals and everything. If the recruiter knows that you have already researched about the company, you know about the company, you know about the vision, mission and goals, it will be very easy for the recruiter to recruit you. Your chances of converting that offer will be very high. Next is what are your strengths and weaknesses? Now for this kind of question, the format is very easy. For strengths, list out 2 of your strongest strengths. And don't just go on about more than 3. You shouldn't list out more than 3 of your strengths. And while you are mentioning your strengths, be ready with a backstory where you have showcased these kind of strengths. If I tell the recruiter, okay, my strength is being very adaptable. I feel like I adapt to new situations very easily. What the recruiter is going to do, he is bound to ask, could you please tell me about a situation where you have showcased these skills? If I'm not ready with a backstory, that will be very hard for me to answer. So always be prepared. If you're telling a strength, be prepared for a situation where you have actually showcased that strength. Be it a personal situation, be it in any kind of project or internship. So you should be able to list out 2 of your strengths with their backstories. And for weakness, don't just tell your weakness. Okay, I get bored easily, I overthink. Don't do that. For weaknesses, you should be able to frame it in a manner where you must be able to tell the recruiter that you're already working on your weakness. For example, suppose my weakness is I'm not a team player. I don't know how to work in a team. I don't know how to work with them. So it will, this is a honest weakness, but this will put a very bad impression on the recruiter. So what you must say is, if I'm not able to work in a team, but I'm constantly participating in group projects or in group opportunities, and I'm already working on my weakness and I'm already seeing progress. This is how you should answer the weakness. Don't just tell your weakness and that's it, that's your answer. That puts a very bad impression on the recruiter. Is this question clear? This is a very important question. It looks very easy, but you should be able to, if you follow this format, it'll be very easy for you to answer these questions. Now, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Now, when the recruiter is asking you this question, where do you see yourself in 5 years? He is not asking you for your entire career plan or anything. He just wants to know if you're going to stay with the company or not. Because when they are recruiting you, what they want is mainly one thing. They are investing in you, they are paying you. They want one thing, that you should stay with the company for a very long time. It's very important for them. So when you're answering this question, be sure to mention that you really like the company, you would like to stay with them, you would like to grow with them. Be particular about mentioning the company in this kind of question. And also you could answer something like, okay, in 5 years of time, I see myself leading a team, leading this kind of projects, this kind of things. This is how you would answer, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Why do you want to join our company? As I said earlier, you need to research about the company very well. You need to go through their website. Before appearing for any interview, you need to go through their website. You should know about the company's basics. And when you're answering these kind of questions, you should know what the company is specialized in or what they're known for. Suppose a particular company is very famous for their CSR, for the sustainable activities. Then you could say something like, I'm very passionate about the environment and other responsible activities. So that's why I connect with the CSR activities that the company is doing. And that's why I really want to join with the company. This is how you need to answer this kind of questions. And one more tip that I would add that I've personally used. What you can do is, if this is 2025, right? What you can do is, if you're appearing for a particular interview of a company, you go to their website, you download their annual report. You could download their annual report 2024 or the latest that one is available. Go through that report. It will be a 100 to 200 pages document. There is everything you need to know, their financials, their latest activities, their future goals. You could comment on that in your interview, and sure the recruiter is going to be so impressed. So that is a very good tip. If you want to know about the company, you could go through their website, or you could download their annual report. And you need to incorporate that in this question. I have answered all these questions. In the next slide, you could see the sample answers, but I'm just stating the format at this point. And last is behavioral question. Now for behavioral question, this is bound to appear in a HR round. What the recruiter is going to ask you is, tell me about a situation where you have faced a challenge and how did you overcame it. Now this is the kind of question that you will get for behavioral kind of questions. For this, a very good framework for you to use is the STAR framework. So how you would use this framework is, let me explain what the STAR framework actually is. Situation, task, action, result, STAR. So what was the question? Tell me about a challenge that you faced and how you overcame it. So you need to frame your answer in a way. First you will tell about the situation. What was the challenge? What was the challenge that you were facing? Then what was the task that was assigned to you so that you could overcome that challenge? Then action. What were the steps that you did to complete that particular task? And with the action that you took, what were the results? What were the results that you got? So this is step by step, this is how you need to frame that answer for the behavioral kind of questions. This might look a bit tricky to think on the spot, that's why you need to frame your answers beforehand, so that it is very easy when you're sitting in front of the recruiter. You don't need to impulsively answer these kind of questions, because it is very hard to sit on the spot and think these kind of things. What was the situation, what was the task, what were the challenges? So you need to frame it beforehand.